Hi, Lisa Soland again. I have the privilege of interviewing Melanie Ewbank regarding her authorial debut with Ella's Trip of a Lifetime, published by Climbing Angel Publishing, which I happen to be the senior editor of, and I had the privilege of editing Melanie's book. We also kind of watched it come together, didn't we, in that
Yes,
process?
yes. Well, I was so fortunate to be part of a children's writing workshop led by Lisa and Climbing Angel Publishing, where the process of writing a children's book, we went through the whole thing and from start to finish, and um, the the process is so because children's books have so few words. Every single word is critical to tell the story. And so getting down to that level and being able to practice in a workshop setting with other writers who are amazing and supportive and cheering you on and loving your things and it's very encouraging. And it's a difficult medium. Writing is difficult anyway, but children's literature in particular is very difficult. There's a lot to consider. And also, I think people think it's very easy because they're like, how hard could it be? It's a book with some words and some pictures. But oh my gosh, it's of course, it's some of the most difficult writing I've ever done because you have to distill it down to the actual truth of the thought. And that thought has to be stated in very few words with some basic punctuation. So
Now,
it's great.
you are a playwright.
Yes,
Both you and I, we share that. We were both playwrights before anything else. Can you tell the writers that are listening, or share a little bit about your background as a writer?
well, I started out as an actor. I'm a classically trained actor, and I was in LA doing my actor thing, doing a lot of theater, and some film and television. And um, I had worked with Lisa in a play. Lisa was already a playwright and also still pursuing her acting. And we were in a play together. So I knew Lisa. And then through some mutual friends, I found out that Lisa was hosting writer's workshop, a playwriting workshop called the All Original Playwrights Workshop, which spanned over like 10 years. Lisa just introduced so many people into playwriting and helped them really develop their voice. Um, and I'm so grateful for being part of that. I wasn't at first, I have to admit, because I came in as an actor to facilitate other writers' work because playwrights were playwrights and I was an actor. And it's so important as a playwright. It is such a gift to have an actor speak those words, and it's so telling. It really informs your writing and allows you to really improve your craft. And so I was helping writers improve their craft. And then one day I came to class all perky and ready to help other writers improve their craft. And Lisa said, Melanie, you should bring some writing in. And I said, no, 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 no. I'm an actor, Lisa. I'm an actor. And she said, well, I understand you're an actor. I understand, but you're in a playwright workshop. And coming to this workshop without bringing something in to share is like showing up at a potluck with nothing, just eating other people's food.
Oh, my
She said,
word.
just come in next week with something, anything. I don't care. I don't care. And, you know, it's that old writer adage, just make it the worst junk you could, just the worst writing, the most horrible, wretched, embarrassing stuff, just stream of consciousness. And I did. And out of that came a full length play that had a reading at the Pasadena Playhouse. And I mean, it was awesome stuff. So I transitioned into more playwriting and acting as a side gig or a hobby, and it was
Mm.
it was a it was a fortuitous turn in my life because, you sometimes discover that something that you've been avoiding your whole life is really what you're meant to do. And that was it for me for writing. As a matter of fact, when I embarrassingly told my family that I was going into yet another career where the chances of making a lucrative career, salary were slim and none. I said, so I'm, I'm really pursuing this writing thing. And my sister said to me, my sister is 7 years older, and she said to me, well, you've always been a writer. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? And she said,
Yeah.
you've always been a writer. You've always written these things. You've always, um, and so it's funny how other people sometimes know you better than yourself, Lisa and my sister. And through that, I was able to create some really wonderful plays and do some wonderful things with my playwriting, going into prisons and juvenile halls and with plays and performances and things, and really some special playwriting experiences in addition to getting plays produced. But the other things were so meaningful to me in my life. Uh, and then recently, when she had started, Lisa started the publishing company and the writing books and children's books, and then she offered this thing, and I said, this workshop, and I said, I have got to do this because I have got to challenge myself to do this. I had no expectation for anything on the other side. I just said, if Lisa is offering something, I need to challenge myself. If I don't, I'll get a text anyway and says, why aren't you coming to my party and why aren't you bringing brownies? And so
Yeah, that's right.
it's worked
Yeah.
out for the best.
So, it's interesting. We were talking a little bit in the last segment about the difference between playwriting and writing children's books. And you were talking about how with children's books, you do not waste one word. And I was thinking while you were sharing that um, definitely you need to know what you're writing about. You need to have such a firm grasp on your subject matter and your theme. Otherwise, children, I think, are very, very smart. They're going to see through any baloney that you muster up, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, absolutely. In playwriting, people talk about making your play actor proof, which I don't agree with necessarily or disagree, but your play has to be tight. It has to be tight, but there is room for a living being to perform that and fix your mistakes, make your play better just by their interpretation of it, and making those, lapses or whatever, better. And with books you can't. And children, we we just don't give children enough credit for intelligence. They are smarter and more in tune than we give them credit for. And they can smell the stinky stuff from a long way. They might not know how to say, oof, that's, ugh," but they feel it. And I think that they also understand when someone is being honest and forthright,
Mhm.
and they can feel that too. And they can feel the condescension, they just intuitively know those things. And you also have to, know that some of that is they'll stop reading or listening or get bored, and don't we all, so when you're getting to the fine point of your thought, it forces you to understand completely what you're trying to communicate, be honest with yourself about what you're communicating, and then find the right word. And when we were going through the final edits of Ella's Trip of a Lifetime, if you'll remember, we spent an enormous amount of time choosing whether to use the word, quote, this or quote, that in a very brief, and it was down to that kind of nitty gritty, which I think is so amazing. It just forces you to work your craft. You have to work your craft.
Yeah.
And what an honor to work your craft. I mean, that's just daily. The day that you say as an artist, "Well, if I got that now, I'm the best." That's the day that's sad. That's a sad day for me, for artists, because I think constantly we're working our craft. There's constantly something to learn, and to distill your thoughts down and have to be that specific, that helps everything in your life. Really, down when I was talking before about communication, it's like, what do I really mean, and how
Mm.
do I want to present it?
Yes.
Because they're 2 different things, 2
Mm.
different things, and it's an amazing experience. It's painful, but it's amazing.
Well,
Editing
going back
editing
to oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, editing is just so hard. Editing is hard. The first draft, this so fun, and it's all full of potential, and then you get down to what the heck was I trying to say here? I don't even know. Somebody hold up a flag and let me know. What
Yeah,
should I say?
your
Anyway.
idea for the story is like in an hourglass, and it comes down, and when it gets down to the editing, it gets real trim and slim, and anything that doesn't belong down that chute gets left behind.
Mhm.
It is remarkable, and hopefully, of course, the end result is worth every minute invested. And Melanie, I must say that with your new children's book, the first book for you and for your illustrator, Sylvia, Ella's Trip of a Lifetime is all of those things you talked about a children's book should be. It's honest, it's forthright, it does not talk down to children. And something that I look for as a publisher and senior editor at Climbing Angel Publishing, I look for books that are not only going to be enjoyed by the children, but also appreciated by the parents that are reading those books to those children. And in this case, Ella does not pull up short. It's really quite a good book. And before we go with this segment, I just want to remind our followers on the YouTube channel, please click that you like this video. Please subscribe. I Like to Be Quiet is a wonderful book by Joni Caldwell, and that was her first book. She's working on another one. The Boy and the Bagel Necklace is a big seller about adoption from a little boy from Romania. God's Hands and Feet, and Carly Samier's book, Wheels Off. These are the 4 newest books, not counting, of course, Melanie Ewbank's, which will be available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon, all the top platforms on the internet to buy books. You can find it there, both in hard copy and soft cover, starting March 15th, 2021, in just a couple of days. So come back and watch the other episodes of my wonderful interview with wonderful writer, Melanie Ewbank. Thank you.